Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. All right, today I want to talk about the finish. And I want to talk in terms about what I see on the PGA Tour with a lot of guys who I consider to have relatively pretty good vertical swings. Vertical backswing, pretty good vertical finish, until they do this one thing and it's starting to cause them problems. I'll preface this by saying that I think two of the ones that I see this doing it the most are Jimmy Walker, who's been one steady player for the last couple of years, and Luke Donald, who was actually #1 in the world 3, 4, 5 years ago, and has fallen way down and might even be out of the top 50 and having trouble getting back. And it's all because they're starting to drift and finish too far left. Okay? Now, let's just start with the basics. When I used to coach Dixie Youth Boys League, whenever I got new players, and I brought this out every year, but especially with new players that have really never played much baseball, I'd always start with, I'd teach them how to hold the ball for one, right? Hold the ball correctly, just like holding a club is important, correctly. And how to hold it, and then I'd tell them how to throw. They got a load on the back leg, and I'd always do this. I'd take my eyes, I'd say here to there. Look where you want to throw, and then throw where you look. So right now, if I'm trying to, if my receiver is right there, the camera, when I stand here, when I turn, get a little bit sideways, and I throw, I'm looking right there. We know that. If you're any kind of a baseball fan, you know what. Most kids, from the day they were taught to start pitching and throwing, but especially pitching, they were taught, look at the glove. There are guys out there that cannot pitch unless they have a target, because they're focusing on that target, and that's where they want to go. Now, naturally, if you're in the field catching a ball and you're falling all over the place and you're just turning, sighting the first baseman, or if that's who you're throwing the first, and you're just sighting it and throwing real quick, all right? Because at least that guy, it don't matter if he catches it over here or there, as long as he can keep his foot on the bag and while put the tag on the runner, he's out, okay? So, but the point is, look where you throw, look where you want to throw, and then throw where you look. So, that means my follow-through should always be to my target. So in peak performance, we've always talked about in the mitt and up the tree, in the mitt and up the tree. All right? So either way, in the backswing, I don't want to go in the mitt and go down a tree branch there, and I don't want to go down a tree branch here, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing too much turning out of the shot, and instead of letting the club go here, a lot of them try to fake it out, and you see this, I see this curl up here like this. So they're trying to curl it back. But the point is, the curl, if they swing too far inside, the curl can't save the shot. The ball is halfway to the target by the time they're curling. All right? So I think they're getting in here and they're just turning a little too hard to the left side, and they're facing, by the time they're facing over there, the club's swinging way down there. Now, a lot of people would say to me, when I talk so much about really, hitting the pinpoint finish, like I guess in gymnastics when they do the tumbles and stuff, they say you gotta hit the finish. Well, they'd say to me, well, Serge, if the ball is only on the club 1/2 of 1,000th of a second, or about 1/2 inch of movement, why is the finish so important? Well, it's important because if your muscles are being trained to go that way and finish over there, as I just said, the curl isn't going to help you too late. If your muscles are already starting to pull and move to where they're coming slightly inside the line, right? If this is the line I want it on, they're already slightly starting to move inside the line, going that way a fraction too soon before impact, the ball's going to start left, or you could catch it as you hit it, and it can kind of pull it left a little bit for you. The point is, it's on. The third on is not as good when you start, if it was to start pulling just a fraction too soon. And it takes nothing more than a nanosecond, and it can start happening. And that little curl on the end is not going to help. They need to get straight through, straight over. Basically, when I go into the forward mitt and up the tree, there's a moment in time where this forearm blocks my vision. I can't see the camera until I do what? The camera is invisible to me from there to there, and then it's there. But in a full turn like that, it's not enough to make me lose the flight of the ball in the air. So if you can actually totally never lose sight of the target in your swing, then that means you're going that way too soon. You need to come right up over the shoulder. The back of this right hand, the hairs on my hand should be almost touching my head. When I wear my big wide hats, I actually take them off when I hit, because in the wide brims, I tend to hit and knock them off, and it started making me go farther and farther left. And it doesn't take much to start missing that sweet spot a little bit, and you're not going to see hit it as solid and as straight. Okay, so watch your finish. The finish is critical. It's not over till it's over, and it's not over until you reach that right near that ear and recoil and relax. Everything stays in front of the body. Club and hand start getting outside the body, you're going to stop playing. You're going to start having problems, and you're going to first see it in the solidness of contact, and then you're going to start seeing your flight pattern is going to start drifting farther left for a righty, farther right for a lefty, and then both ways when you try to have to hold on to save it. Okay? Finish is everything. All the way to the end, do it correctly. So that's it for the surge for today. Watch that finish. In the mid, up the tree, recoil and relax with the club pointing at or just a fraction left of the target. That's the secret to hitting it solid and straight consistently. That's it for today, and I'll be speaking with you all again soon.